thinking hieroglyphs or to think with the ancient mind frame. It's where we teach you or attempt to teach the average listener, or just a reflection to the average listener that you think in hieroglyphs, think with the ancient mind frame. Similar to where we're going with it tonight about memory wipe and how to connect right back to your ancient memories or unlock these memories in your DNA, which will cause you to live a certain way in the present time. And usually what I'll do is I'll read a little bit out the book before I start. But I want to give you a briefing on the movie, The Giver. And in it is a special, the guide. It starts off in black and white, which represents the way we see the world, the way the average person sees the world with his memory already wiped and with the information he's been given to him. So it starts off in black and white. And there's a guy in there. I don't recall his name, but he's a guy. He's as he's going on through the process of initiation or wherever they're trying to find out, similar to Equilibrium. That's the name of the movie. But as he's going on with initiation and trying to find his way in life, in the movie they do your personality archetype. They set you a particular goal or a particular job or something, a task for you to do. But he was able to encompass all tasks. So they gave him a special job, was the giver. Meaning is he had to see another giver where he was a receiver at the time, meaning an initiate. And he had to see another giver, which was a master, who had to give him memories. And in the memories, they told him that his initiation was pain, excruciating pain, supreme pain. Meaning is there was things he had to go through in order to receive these memories and gain knowledge and wisdom from them, from the things he encountered, due to the fact that the master giver gave him the memories. And without memories, you have no knowledge. So it's like you have to go through hell to get to heaven, so to speak, as they say. And what wound up happening is that the giver gave him memories, and he had memories, he had experiences that he had never had before. And in this society, what they did was it was the end of the world, or the world as we knew it, and it was way in the future. And what had happened was they wiped out everybody's memory and gave them new memories, or gave them memories from there on forth. And in these memories, they encoded new words, gave actual actions, different words, meaning there's death. They didn't say death, they say take, to take, so it's more softer. And they said to speak in a precise language. So one of the guy was witnessing his father kill a baby. And his father was doing it so casually. He took the baby out, pampered, got it ready, put the needle in his head, killed it, put it in a box, wrapped it up real nice, and dumped it down the chute. That represents the mind frame of the Illuminati, so as we want to call it, the elite, these psychopaths. That's kind of like their mind frame. They're numb. And in the movie, it was showing you depicted that due to the receiver having memories from the giver who gave him memories, he remembered that was death. So by him remembering that was death, it caused a certain response in his body, like, oh, that's wrong. And he started to wake up in this black and white world, but he started to see color in this black and white world where everybody else was seeing black and white, which represents the third eye, to be able the ability to see the unseen scene, which is to see in color or HD. And when he was, it bothered him how easily his father was able to kill a baby. And his father was a caretaker. That was his lot in life. He was a caretaker, something like a nurse. And it bothered him. But before it didn't bother him because he was under this language. He was under this memory wipe. He was under this new way of thinking. But when he got his memory back, which is reconnecting with our hieroglyphic mind, we see a lot of things in the world that we didn't see wrong. Now we see them quite wrong. And just off the language, they said to take. So the take was a little softer. So he would just say, oh, yeah, he's taking the child. In reality, due to him reconnecting with his ancient self, due to him giving his memories from the memory giver, he seen that his daddy was actually murdering the child. So his goal was to get out and beyond the little area that they had encompassed, meaning it's like a hood, like our brothers stay in the hood. There's no actual walls, but it's a mind wall that's there. Due to the nicer it gets, the more you know not to be there. So if he can make it past that, by him being the receiver, which going into the initiation, finna be Auset, which is master of ourself, the giver, is he'll go past a certain point, and all the memories will come back to the people. And in the end, it showed that when he finally waited on his journey, which represents a Godspeed journey or a journey of God, and he had the baby in his hand, which represented baby Jesus, or that he was holding the birth of the Messiah, which was in himself. He made it past, and all the memories shot back, and everything turned from black and white, which means everybody see the world one way, which is a thorough way to see it, into color. And everybody start feeling it again. They start feeling. So when somebody, like I'm going to give you an example. I'm kind of floating through this before I start, but I'm going to give you an example. Okay. Back in the day when we was a little bit younger, some of you may know that when somebody had a baby, it was like a young girl had a baby, it was like, wow. You know, it was like, whoa, she's pregnant. Damn, dude, you know, somebody got killed or a little boy got hurt or some child got hurt or anybody got killed. It was like, whoa. Now, from then to now, somebody get killed, you don't have that same response. You don't have that same emotion. You don't have that same, you know, feeling. So would I say that to say this, that I'm giving you an example of memory wipe. See, back then when you remember, you had a certain response to it. Now, over time, by them wiping your memory and making you numb to the things of the world, making this redirecting your language. So when Lil Wayne say kill, 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 you know, one of them cats say kill, 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 or Boosie say kill, kill, kill. By being said so much, the value of the actual enigma or the signal of the energy that comes from that word leaves. So now you kill, it's like killing on a video game. A child play all day killing on video games is nothing to him when he killed on the world. You see, it's getting the same response. It's almost to him, it's like the person pretty soon when he leaves, going to get up and go back to life. So that's just a quick an example of what I can give you of memory wipe. And I say this to say that I bring it to under the metal net too, since this is an actual segment of the Thinking Hieroglyphs. It's the ninth spirit, which is Auset. And it's funny we say Auset is because she is the guardian. She had a certain power over the airwaves. She had the ability to speak certain things and reflections of outside through the airwaves, meaning to try to put the bits and pieces back together, try to put the scattered 13, some say 14 pieces back together. And what she would do, something like Sophia Stewart, they would slip in real knowledge, real information, real shit, for you to see, and hopefully you grasp it and see a reflection in that within yourself. But she knew one thing, that the actors was going to have to be of a Caucasian descent. So it's nothing really hard, but if you could just read between the whitewash and the lines, you'll see yourself. You know, and as I watched the movie, I seen the receiver, the boy with the hole in his hand, which represents the third eye. The hole in his wrist is that the fact that he was black, and he was able to see things that other populations couldn't see. He was able to see in color that other races wouldn't see, or other people around him couldn't see. And then once you just switch the color up and put yourself in the or maybe someone else you know and put yourself in the flick, you'll see it a little bit clearer, just like the movie Matrix. So Auset would do this and slip little things in there, and just like equilibrium, what I'm starting to realize is they're showing us the same thing. She's trying to show us the same thing, equilibrium, same thing. You take a medication that numbs you, and it devoids emotions. And you walk around, and in the world they say it's perfect, no killing, no murder, but everybody lacks expression. Everybody lacks self. Everybody's a drone. Now, can we take that and look at today's time? Same thing. We are like drones. We're like giving medication to where we don't feel emotions. Back in the day, a lot of things we used to say to each other as far as problems and things that happen, it used to have a lot of more effect on your mind and your conscience and your psyche than it do now. It's almost like straight up, let me hit that weed though, and shit, any more of that liquor left, and it's just like that. And due to the fact I can understand that being said and played out like that, due to the fact that how the media news broadcast stuff, you know what I'm saying? They be talking about some horrific shit 1 second, and then they'll go to a bounty commercial. And it's like, God damn, wait a minute, it's like a bipolar situation. You still in it, what the fuck? And they talking about, yeah, get your, we're interviewing this little boy, he made downy frufflets, and he showed us how to make our whole room smell fresh after 20 brothers just got their head, massacred. It's like, come on now. But that's how they got us. And I said, like I say, it's funny that it ties into that she represents imitation on the lower side. You know, the fact that what we see is what we imitate, indiscriminately imitate what they give us, meaning there's the things they give us to imitate. So if they wipe our memory, they give us something to imitate. That means they take the history in the past, our wisdom, our soul, and just the very fact of who we are. Because like whatever made you who you was 10, 5 up to 30, you still can go back farther to your past life and lives before that. That's already a trace in your DNA. Because if it wasn't true, then that means you wouldn't be here. Your link is cut. So I know my grandfather's been here, having sex, recreating me. So back in Egyptian times or way before that, you still got traces in your DNA and your memories. But now memories is almost as if it's been pushed back to imagination. So when you use your imagination, all you're doing is really remembering the things who you are. But the reason it sounds so far-fetched and way out is because it's from a time of not now. But it's the truth, and it's happening, and it's real. You see what I'm saying? Anybody following? Anybody got any questions or concerns, anything they want to say before I proceed? Because I'm going to the book, the Metal Net too. And I'm going to break some of this Auset stage down and what this mind wipes, really represents and what it means to us as a people. Anybody got any questions?
Can I add something?
Go ahead, please do. Please
okay,
do. Who is this, by the way? It sounds like Brian.
This is Brian.
Well, what up, brother?
Oh,
good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about one thing that's like when they were together, they had to touch each other. You see what I'm saying? So he had to hand off frequency to the other person. Remember that? When they sat in the chair?
Yes. When he had to grab his palm in his hands, when in his bloodline. But right. They had to touch each other. So he had to have that. Yeah, he had to have the frequency. But Well, as far as the touch, what do that represent? What do you go ahead speculate on that? I mean, I'm learning.
Well, another part is where they lived. Remember, where he lived had kind of a view of seeing all the different spirits of the earth. That all that energy to help him with getting those memories and help him.
So it's like the Baphomet. It's the symbol of the Baphomet. The goat. The goat sits up way high and can sit on the cliff and watch down and see everything. A keen perspective. But that reminds me of the Baphomet symbol with the two horns.
And it comes into. And then another thing that he did is, and you kind of just touched on it, is he activated sleep DNA. Even though he gave him the memories, what he did also is he activated his DNA so the full story would come around. So remember how
and he will become who he always supposed to be in an instant. And so that means by them cutting off the memories, that means that he was new. He was a new man all the time. That means we always is imitation, right? Instead of what? Instead of growth, like evolution. It's like they cut off our evolution because Brian, if you think if we got memory wiping, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't want you to touch bases with me on this. I say memory wipe because when back in and I know you can probably tell me more of this time. In the 60s or 70s or even the 50s, we are at different people from then to now, right? Am I correct on that? But the thing is, what happened to that thin line of graduating from Black Panther, from Black Power, from Fred Hampton to something in 2017 which holds the same essence but more powerful, faster, and quicker? Well, how the hell we get to this, to is Gucci Mane a clone? So I say, would you consider memory wipe somewhere right there, like they wiped memory being our traces back to even that time?
Yeah, that's part of it. But the memory wipe can go, when a person is born, but we're not getting into that. But definitely there's a lack of no empathy that you touched on. And let me get into something else while we're on that is the Mandela effect. I mean, that's especially the way we learn, they've changed some of the histories. And to just give you an example is it used to be a book called The Bernstein Bears. It's spelled differently now than from when I was a kid. And that's just to give you a small example of what the Mandela effect is. And what the Mandela effect actually is Mandela, to some people, died in prison. He didn't get out to be president. He actually died in prison.
Okay. And what do that mean? What do that mean to the corresponding brother?
So what they're doing is they're changing some of that past that you're talking about. They're trying to change that ancestral information to something different.
Okay.
You can't look back at it.
Okay, so in the movie, what you're saying is what they mean when they say precise language. And he said, no, he killed them. He said, no, use precise language. The fact that you see how they switched the language up to where they was actually murdering people, but by using the word take, it made it seem like something different just off the perception.
Yeah, well, it's a lack of empathy. I mean, that's the key word is it's a total lack of empathy. And using the language, as I think we've touched on before, the English language just in itself is such blocking and such stopping language, where they even went further in that movie. They went further in that movie to say only this precise code of words for this movie.
Okay, so would I relate that to today's media, as in what they will let me come out as far as music? Only these type of words, precise language, like, you know, the shit that they play, that's going to come out. And due to them, we're learning this precise language, meaning is that we become numb to these things in the world. You know, like we calling our females bitches. We say we'll kill a motherfucker every 5 bars. You know, we don't give a fuck about care about the next man. And is this in that movie, man? It's just so much that they it's like they tell it on themselves. Am I right or wrong? I mean, did you see how the lead, who the lead was, who the sons of God was? You see what I'm saying? Do you see how they actually showed their face in the movie?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Casually. They did it casually, like just very casually. You have to be really woke to peep all of that, and I see you did in that movie. You have to be really on your P's and Q's.
Read the book. It's a book. You know, that comes from a book. That movie comes from a book.
I've seen that. So the book should always show more than the TV, huh?
Yeah, it's just a little more in depth, and I actually didn't read the book, but my son did. So my son peeked me to it. You know, he started breaking it down for me how the book was a little different. Because he said the book, like when they're sliding at the end, he was telling me that the book, they actually go and interact with the people at the end. He said they kind of changed that. But, it still gives you the basic reference, you know, to the point of what they're talking about. Like you said, I mean, they're putting it right into your face.
They did. They definitely did.
The thing you said before is trigger words. You know, the way they use trigger words, you know, to make people react to certain things. You know, I mean, you touched on that before, and it's just funny when I heard you touch on it before. It was something I was just, you know, because there's, like you were saying with the music. See, they can put trigger words in the music because the music, and see, this is the thing is the music used to stop the trigger words. See, when you're talking about Mozart and you're talking about Bach, you know, they created, you know, the stop them trigger words. You know, people were using certain trigger words to connect with frequency. You know, they couldn't connect with it. And so they used trigger words to counter it. You know, so that's how they use, that's how, you know, the Europeans connected with frequencies using these trigger words.
Okay, so they ride the beat, and they get us to ride the beat with these artificial trigger words that's meant for something totally different or meant for another effect in our life. If you wake up in the morning and I'm in love with the cold, and you're wondering, why is you thinking this? Why am I waking up 7 o'clock in the morning and this song is in my head? That's an after effect of it being pounded in your mind. And if you waking up and you singing this, think about how that ideology just took over your mind. I mean, you thinking about it and you ain't even in the time to be thinking about the actual song. And the beat will rise you there. The beat is good. It's always good. It's a neutral thing, but it rides you there wherever the lyrics going to take you. So you get on the beat is the car, the beat is the road, the beat is the train, but where is this train going? So let me read the words. Red line, blue line, east, west, south. Bitch, hoe, slut, I got bread, I'm in love with the cocoa. You see what I'm saying? So in your ether, in your reality, it become a train ride to hell, and you don't even know it. Why do you think they play this? Why do you think they're feminizing the brother? This is mind white. We are actually, brothers never really dressed the way they dressed. They always kept a little hair on their face. They never looked too feminine, but they kept themselves together. Now it's a thing of memory wipe when they wiped that out of our mind and instilled the Kanye West Act, you know, the new thing going with the hazel eyes. Now brothers are actually, these are not the same brothers. I can't see how we got from where we was just 10 years ago to now. Memory wipe. How the hell did this happen? So, Brian, you want to add on anything else before I go into the book?
Oh, yeah. I mean, your generation and my generation, I mean, people don't dress up. I mean, there was a huge campaign that Michael Jordan helped it to actually dress down. You know? I mean, look at young pictures of young brothers in the 50s and 60s, even going to the 40s. When people went out, they always wore coats or suits.
Presentable, right? Presentable, but how did we lose that time? My connection from your generation is supposed to be my rim. Your rim is your mastery or your realm to spill down to the remnants of my reality. But it's not that. It's barely the fathers can relate to the daddies, and they're in the same household. That's what I mean. Memory wipe. They have killed that connection, that DNA connection. They have gave us a whole other reality than y'all, and y'all would spit y'all reality knowledge to us. But it's not compatible to this new time reality of what we're dealing with now. Am I making any sense?
Oh, indeed. I look at, I mean, it's like going with the trigger words of the mind wipe. I mean, if you look at the trigger words of the Manchurian Candidate, where they can play these games, look at these phones, and all of a sudden some cat gets this information. But think about it. All along, they're feeding you to go out buy guns, go out and get this ammunition. You know what I'm saying? So it's a slow process. But they can slowly give you those subliminal clues to one day they turn you on.
Mind wipe. Slow process. Very subtle, very subtle.
Why do you think they go get these cats? They don't have these cats being shootouts because they want to be the first one to be right there. The people that go get them is part of all this. They go get these cats, and they don't want nobody else to deal with them. They want certain people to go collect it. What do they say? The men in black. They say the men in black.
There we go. So code words, black, the men in black. Code words again. And Auset, it represents, I'm going to go into the book a little bit. This is the Auset stage of initiation, laying the foundation for spiritual development. Every personality is made up of a set of abilities and limitations. We must ask questions. Who said that an individual must identify with the complex of habitual, automatic, mental, and emotional responses associated with his being? Over the ages, people have discovered over and over again that the identification with the part of our being that is the embodiment of knowledge and ability to run all subconscious register functions responsible for the operation of our physical, mental, and emotional body has enabled people to transcend the limitations of their persona, meaning the ego, as well as the manifestation abilities not shared by the majority of people, which is the stuff we're talking about now. It must be clear that God dwells in our spirit, and only God can accomplish the great feats that we must manifest if we are to put the world in order. Now, what they're saying is that the ego, the archetype, the thing that they give us, if you wipe our memories, cut off our past, we can never learn from the past. It's like a flower trying to grow with no root, a tree that's not deep in the earth. All I have to do is, it looks strong, it looks big, and all that, but I know it's no root, so I know it to push it over. It can fall over. And so it's like always starting with no roots. It's just artificial future. It's an artificial future. And due to the fact, what they're saying here is that when we're born, we're given things to imitate. Side by side with the DNA or our history or our memories that we had passed down from generation to generation. But as we get older, one succeeds and one precedes. And what they do is actually feed us enough information, frequency, waves, everything they could possibly can to succeed one, which is actually our memories, and proceed the other, which is the new information, which is giving us things to imitate or emulate. And by us being asleep or unaware or no history, meaning it's memory, a book to read from or a person, the old sage from the land that's giving us that time, we lost. We always knew. And if we always knew, we always learned. And if we always learned it, we never learned it from mistakes. So if we never learned from mistakes, we don't have wisdom. So it's like always bumping into the wall. It's like a child that never learned. You put your hand on the fire, it burns. You get up and do it again. It burns. Get up and do it again because his memory has been wiped of the experience he had by doing the bullshit in the first place. So why do you think brothers go to jail? Boom, 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 boom. Because they got memory wiped. They don't think like it looked quiet outside. The birds were chirping. When nobody around. Shoot, ain't nobody watching. Let me do this dirt. Okay, if it's always like that, how you get caught? Now you go to jail, you get out and you say, damn, it look quiet outside. Ain't nobody watching. Let me do this. He's not learning this to the fact that just because it don't look like nobody see him, somebody always watching. And due to the fact that he's resetting what I call reset under the Godspeed meaning science, reset lit, or the reset science, the fact that he's resetting every day. And reset brings you back to memory wipe. You got a modem and you keep pushing the reset button, you're never going to be able to get online. And that's what's happening right now. We're never able to get online, meaning hook up to the constant records or direct connection to God or Goddess, universe, or whatever you want to call it itself, to where your words manifest instantly. Brian, do you want to add on anything to that while I try to find some more information on our set?
Yes. Like one of the histories that was lost, and the giver kind of showed is that telling, of keeping the information agree on, and that's kind of what rap or even hip hop was a continuation of, is telling that story. And the other thing you touched on is like you said, that people are asleep or they're just they don't write their programs, they just follow a program. So the programs out there, like you said, they take all these cues from out in the world, and then that's what they live.
So that represents the world being in black and white as they showed it, and he had a slight ability to start seeing color, and the more he waked up and raised in vibrations, the more color he sees.
Yep. And then my final point is the circle of karma. You know, people not knowing how to rise above karma. Like that person looking outside, and instead of connecting with the waves of the energy and the way the energy is going, you know, they lower themselves to karma. You know, we know karma is constant. You know, it comes around and goes around. But you can rise above the karma. But some people ride that wave with the karma. You know, that's what they would rather do.
Memory wipe, because they're not learning from the last little thing they did that day. We go right back, they come right back to you, and when they see it, they think it just so happened. But see, people don't understand. It happened when you do something good. It happened when you think you're handing out your P's and Q's. It just ain't gonna happen when you're doing bad. It's gonna say, oh, okay, let me get my life together. I'm a little tired. You know, I'm crying a little bit. You know, I'm trying to look for God, but then that's when the karma kick back, and that's the most painful and the most confusing, and that's when it's gonna happen. When you think you're trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get it right or do it, but see, you got to get through that. And once you get through that I'm trying to get my life right, and they keep shooting you down. I'm trying to do this, and that's that karma coming back, hitting you. Once you put the bulletproof vest on, get through that, then you reset with good karma. You throw good vibes out there. You do anything positive, anything like they say, I'm all my brother's keeper. Do what you want to you as you would do unto your brother. You know what I'm saying? Do unto your brother, you'll do it to yourself. So that means I'm going to help, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, produce some good karma, so now I can sit back a little bit comfortable. It's like having money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? I know if I'm riding and my tire go flat due to the fact that we helping my fellow brother a month ago, that if it happened to me, even though it's low, I'm going to be cool. So the tire go flat, here comes somebody, Joe, let me help you change the tire. Matter of fact, they got a brand new one, here you go, boom. And we don't believe that because we don't give it time, we don't give ourselves enough time and enough breath to sit back and actually produce that effect. Another thing is like the computer. A lot of people have memories, but these are artificial memories. These are given memories, and that over time they become loaded and loaded and loaded and loaded in the mind. And if you never clear these memories, you get bogged down, and they call it age or senile. And it's not the fact that you're getting old, but all these memories are giving you gravity because it's heavy, and you never clean out your computer, and they become viruses and junk files and all type of stuff. All this. What would they say? If you want your computer to go fast, give it more memory. Or erase most of the stuff that it's trying to contain. A lot of these memories are unnecessary. Like most bad memories, you can wipe them out. All you have to do is cease to stop thinking about them. Before you know it, they don't hold that imprint under the L. Ron Hubbard Act, and if they don't hold that imprint, they don't hold that genetic imprint on your DNA, it don't affect you, and it's going to pass down to the younger generation of these stars, these etheric stars that we got. Slavery was a big enough etheric star. And that's the memory that they always try to keep. And you see when they do memory wipe, they take all good, anything positive, anything. Fred Hampton, you barely know him. Marcus Garvey, you barely know him. Benjamin Banneker, you barely know him. A lot of stuff you barely know, but you know slavery. So we're going to go to slavery, skip all this stuff, boom, 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 and we're going right to the present time. So that's a memory they're going to let you keep. Other memories are little twinkling memories like Malcolm X. Oh, let's give them that memory. Let's put it in the skies of as we're commemorating, man. We're honoring them. Martin Luther King Drive. Okay, here go the baby. So who is Martin Luther King? He was a great man. He had to help his people. He did everything for his people. What happened to him? He got killed. Okay, well, who is Malcolm X? He was a great man. He did. What happened to him? He got killed. So these are memories that we're actually giving a child. So as he get older and want to be that great leader, he's going to say, no, but they get killed. So they let us get those little memories, those little side highway memories, and the big memory is the slavery. So you combine that with the killing of Martin Luther King and today's music, and you got a young ass nigga that don't give a fuck unless the shit going on in his own backyard. He care more about doing his drawers and match his socks. Anything you want to add on, Brian?
What you touched on at first is when you start doing things with intent, you know. And that's really what can change you, because it doesn't matter how much work you get done, it's the intent you put into the work. And
always.
That's the same thing. And that's the same thing as helping people. You know, that goes into what Dr. Clark talked about with a Yahshua consciousness that was 3,000-4,000 years old. You know, that you loved your family, you helped without any reward. You just helped because of love. You know, and that's something they really, you know, have changed that energy. But that's the main thing. And
yes.
And let me add one thing that you were saying that people don't learn to do is also, like, people have attachments, and then their memories come from out of nowhere. You know, people have memories that come out of nowhere. And most people don't just say, cancel that, just like a computer. If one of your attachments, memories come into your head, just cancel that.
That's it. It's so easy.
And most people don't have that ability. They take that attachment thought as their own thought instead of just canceling it. No.
That's called external forces. Go ahead. That's external forces. That means you are in the moment. You know, it's different from being and be to live in the moment, but it's the difference with being attached to the moment. Meaning it's like he said, that memory pop up, and you know it's a beautiful day, you should let it go, but you can't help yourself. And now here we go. Turn the night out, mess the whole day up, police involved. Now you send back the next day, why did I do it? But like you said, all you do is blank it out your mind, because they will give you a reality that's not real. And based off your blood type, your memories, and whatever the artificial memories they gave you, you're going to respond to the situation. And a lot of times it's just an illusion.
Oh, indeed. And another name to add to your list was in Chicago was Noble Drew Ali. We don't know very much about him, but we know he was murdered.
Right. And them brothers was powerful, and they own land and talk Caucasians. But how do we rarely hear about them? See how they wiping that memory out? If you ask one of these new guys today, the retro brothers, who is these brothers? He look at you like you crazy. That they didn't transfer, they didn't wipe the memory out that this is a new being. These little brothers right now are new beings. They have they're not really even connected 5 years past, not even 10 under that. These are new beings. And a lot of them, they're coming out, they spiritual. And the problem is they don't even know what this is. And if the spiritual in the male, if the spiritual is not checked or contained or put in the proper male perspective, it's a feminine aspect of man. And what happened is a lot of this, I don't know if these brothers are partly being medicated under the homosexual act, or if not, it's the fact that they're imbalanced. So when they come out super or more spiritual, as in these kids are coming out now, for a male, if you're not careful, it'll get twisted into to a female actually actions or female tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Because now this is where the father really needs to be in the house to check that spiritual side, to bring balance and order to that spiritual side, to let this brother know that, that's a feminine aspect of you. That give you your charisma. That give you your style. That give you your flex, your swag. But at the same time, I'm going to give you your discipline on that swag. And if I don't give you that discipline on that swag, you're going to be swagging a little bit too much. Am I right, Brian?
Oh, yeah, perfectly. I mean, perfectly that you have to have the male and the female energy. I mean, that's when you're talking about balancing your chakras, that's what you're trying to balance. All that. You want, like you said, you want that walk to be just a stern walk. You know, you don't want it to be shaky, as you say. You know, you want it to be stern and strong.
But you know you want him. Yeah, go ahead.
You can just pick up that baby with those same strong arms.
There you go.
Pick up that baby and kiss that baby.
Complete. And what he's saying, the opposite of what he's saying is, and I'm going to give you a picture, is a jock, or what they call a jock. I know y'all seen a lot of these, how they portray on TV, this football player. He don't really got no charisma. He ain't really funny. He just black and white, like a robot. You know, I got a girlfriend. She like me. I like her. I buy a present on Valentine's Day. I buy a present on, what's her name? I buy her a pair of shoes and a bra. He don't get creative and none of that. And that bores a lot of the queens. So, yeah, that spiritual aspect is he know how that he don't even have to spend money. The jock who's too over male and the lack of spiritual is he figured he has to spend money. The one who got the spirituality with the control of the father, meaning the control, the male aspect, he can contain it, meaning he can tell her, look, he gonna give her like this, instead of spending money, he'll buy a flower, he'll be riding there, go by the water, he'll open a book and he'll tell her a story, right, rub her feet. And he knows with the air fresh, because women are sensitive to smell. He got the pine scent going, and the water running, and the water, the ocean flashing, and he telling her a story or something he wrote, and he rubbing her feet. She gone. The jock gonna go take her to the movies and buy her expensive meal. She not gonna remember that. So Brother Street, and honor your spirituality. It helps you get. They call it, when it go a little bit wrong, it's called a pimp. That's when it go a little bit wrong. But so far, a pimp is when he in his supreme mode. He got mastery over himself, meaning all that ass around it, he cannot touch it. even though it's thrown at him. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the man's weaker points. You know, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why he got all that power, because he never, fell into the situation. I'm going to go into the book, though. The ninth spirit corresponds to our receptivity to suggestions. Imagine that. Now, shadow walkers like to suggest when you're watching, and all these cold trigger words, these are suggestions, examples, impressions, models, and so on. It is in these faculties through which we learn. In the first 7 years of life, the period of the greatest learning, our receptivity is so great that we indiscriminately imitate most of what we are exposed to. Imagine that. Unfortunately, many people do not transcend this mode of behavior. 85% will that tell you. It is the influence of this faculty that makes even well-educated adults take up such purposeless and self-destructive behavior as in overindulging in certain drugs, alcohol, eating junk food, and the belief in the host of enslaving social and political myths. So basically what they're saying here is like we were just talking about the movie The Giver. The children. I don't know if you can speculate on that, Brian, how they was bringing the children in, and when the children have showed them that they have grown to their precise language and their mode of thinking, that they give them a bike. Now you can ride the bike, and the children go, and then the elders retire, then the middle age, you see what I'm saying, it's like a college or something. And Tavistock Institute and social engineering is all geared towards understanding the Auset faculty of man. That way, they know in these first years if they can give you images or where it's like a sponge, you're not even discriminating about the things you're looking at, and you're soaking in all these images, and the parents around you, which is supposed to be your fortress, you're supposed to block most of what you see, and if they do let it come through, be able to explain to you what it is, don't. So now you're soaking it up. And by the boy 17 years old, you never even asked him how you feel about God, so you ask him, who you think God is, and he tell you Santa Claus. And you like, whoa. And all this time, that's why he been fucked up in the head, tripping and fighting and doing crazy shit, because he always thought God was Santa Claus, and nobody never told him. Brian, anything you want to add on?
Like I said, that was really deep. I mean, I love that, because, and Santa Claus is really Krampus. So, it's a total total lack of what reality is, and it's not, he doesn't even know himself, but he doesn't know anybody that knows himself. See, that's the sad part.
That's the sad part, and that's memory wipe, where he's a new being. Everybody has a culture. We as a black people got to understand our culture been wiped. Our memory's been wiped. The Hispanic casually pick up on the lawnmower and certain things he got to do around the house naturally, and he been ingrained in it to where if he work 14, 15, 20 hours a day, he do it with a smile. At least that's in his memory that he became evolved in doing that, where he can master time and sit there all that time and get paid. Brother can't do that. The Chinese, in their way, you don't never see Chinese in jail. You don't never see Chinese locked up. You don't even see them dealing with the police, but they're always smiling and making that bread. In their culture, they're mastered the art of ninja. It's in their DNA, so it evolves to a way of life where they don't even have to think about it. Who else? Because the European, you see what they do. They practice empathy, no empathy. You know what I'm saying? Robotic mode, how not to give a fuck about your ass and still love their own. And they mastered their craft. But where are we getting our culture? Where are we getting our memories from? Where are we pulling from? I don't see Black Town. I see Chinatown. I see Hispanic land. I see the language. I see Europe, whole part. I see Euro City. I see, North, but I don't see Black Town. I don't see none of that. So where are we emulating, or do we become absorbed into where everybody else is? And what is that? Are we white man? Are we American? What is that? Where we absorb, where we connected? Where we got to start from? Where is our point of reference? Where is our memories? A hieroglyphic mind frame, like Brian said, the period of time we be careful our fellow man. The weather was much nicer. The oxygen was much richer, all because of our mind thought, our thoughts, the way we greeted each other in the land. That was a memory that we had, and over time, from the 50s or 40s to 60s, it was still there. All of a sudden, it came somewhere between the 60s and 70s that they started mind wiping us, meaning they got a hold of new technology. When they started building the computer, they built it under the mind frame of the mind. They took that same thing, put it in the computer, and said, okay, I can put a virus in here. How can I put one in the mind? You flooded with a whole bunch of disagreeable stuff so much that's not part of the body that it just keep coming in because until it duplicates itself. Which they call cancer or anything of that nature. A disease is really a virus that duplicated itself. Meaning is listening to the same music, watching the same stuff, you eat the same food. And what do we eat? You see what I'm saying? We got fast food at home, but how come it's not in the restaurants? If we had a memory, we don't remember Africa because the African brothers and sisters over here don't remember us. So how can we remember anything? And I try to grasp memories when I talk to them, and I can't tell. I'm so far away from it that I can't taste it, I can't feel it, I can't smell Africa when they speak the language to me, when they describe the land. Because I'm trying to weave and bob like dude in the movie. He's trying to get to that certain boundary point where he can break free through the images that it showed me since I was a baby, which was the little fat brown belly one with all the flies around. That shit pumped in my head before anybody ever told me that one real. I was 19 years old. So they wiped all the memories and gave me that. And that's the new memory. That's the artificial memory. So as I go from 10, 5, up, flip over to 20, those memories that I have made are all artificial due to the fact that everything I connected to was wiped out and everything was coming from the forward towards me, meaning it's future. A created artificial future for my memories to be my past. Man, you got anything you want to add on it? Because this is a segment on how to think of hieroglyphs. To that, brother.
Yeah, because, exactly what you described happens in a lot of people. I mean, take a dude who hooped in high school, and then he don't hoop no more. Where did he get his excitement from? The secondhand memory of watching people hoop.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Where did he get his excitement from? And brothers need to hold on to that basketball feeling, that drawing, the art, that creative side to you. You know, all of us used to play the saxophone and really had that inspiration. But what happened? It ain't the fact that we become less motivated due to the fact that we're not motivated. You could say that, but it's actually what we have our guardians have allowed to come into our cycle and penetrate that Joseph, that imagination. You know what I'm saying? Joseph had a coat of many colors. He had a very good imagination, meaning he did his thing with the thing of man that he'll be king. And his brothers like, nigga, goddamn, get off that bullshit, get on your grown man. I'm sitting here on dubs and rims. I got a job paying $90,000 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Get on your grown man. I'm getting mad. I got hoes. I'm doing all this. Get on your grown man. Joseph like, no, I'm building. I'm doing this. I'm going to be king. They're like, no, I threw him in a well. Meaning they threw him in darkness and doubt. But in that darkness, he still remained in his mind that I would be king. And due to the fact that while they kicking it and doing all that extra humping just to be man, just to be, you know, whatever they call it, the ego, to fulfill the ego, Joseph was laying back in darkness saying, I will be king. So the Good Samaritan finally came back and got him out, picked him up, took him to the land, he became king. So he was in a higher position in life just off the ability to hold a certain thought of God in his mind so long that it manifested. And all he did was sit back in darkness, and these brothers ragged and old and tired and had to look at that and doing all that extra shit. And all they had to do was remain the thought that I would be king. Anybody got anything they want to add on before we...
He ain't no broke, nigga. He got bricks. He selling bricks, nigga. How the fuck is this possible? And while he's selling bricks, these motherfuckers is transformed. So next thing you know, he go from selling bricks with weird Lexus and drop tops and shit to walking down the street in his boxer gloves 30 miles away going to Jewel's, going shopping. When you got a car, you walk right past your damn car 30 miles and walk to Jewel's in your drawers and your boxer shorts and a t-shirt. So I know everybody else like, oh, that nigga went crazy. I'm like, no, something happened. What the fuck happened? Shit, this some real shit.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow.
I knew he went crazy, so I said, what the fuck happened to you, nigga? I know you went crazy. You just can't go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he jumped out the bridge.
They say, don't say what you want to say, but I say what I want to say anyway, because when I don't say what I want to say, they say you should have said what they seen happen anyway. Pain by the iron law, nigga. Pain by the iron law. So I keep all this shit in my head. Rubik's Cube. Pain by the iron law. A domino nation, shiesty Haitians, mental Jews, 9-inch Rubik's Cubes, and the godly rule. Egyptian scriptures confused. Air Force One Air Force. Pick and choose, behold a pale white horse. Time takes its course. He too hectic, second nectar, I saw a man. Holy wars, cold swords, Satan's garage. 2 items sold, 1 doubt, 2 pride. 1 man sells 1,000 lives. Holy Quran, low. Salam, Masaleka Salam. Will of Yahweh, so have it your way. Fourth stage, engage, strawberry, red, green, heaven. Cheese, brown, and black. China Meg, heal your head, suppress bullshit. Saw the pyramids, build with the wind. No friends comprehend, muddle thinking dark and endless. Planet equate, vision stargaze. Solomon ways, force the course of heaven, you support your baby. Subliminal factor, sunlight, super learning, suppressed thought, supreme being, Chimmerman class to spill up the masses. Thinking, thoughts, abstract max, true of our Trinity methods. Pain, been issue, vitality. I see it in you. Do you feel it in me? It's the beginning of knowledge. Wisdom controls the mind. Bright shine, picture evident dark times. Elevate, create, design. My soul searching wonders of knowledge. It's if I was a hungry child surrounded by stingy street scholars. Alcoholics, bees, passing ABC order. Looking at God's trying to gym son's daughter. Yo, we are the order. Pain by the iron law. Mind petroleum atom embrace these 60 degrees. Illustrates my face, seal outside men. How do I begin? God wanna know who hardway more and gin. The feather may I go there, nigga. Pain by the iron law. 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 A domino nation, shiesty Haitians, mental Jews, 9-inch Rubik's Cube.
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Goddamn.